Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, your favorite thing to listen to while you're stuck at home from the coronavirus. Welcome back to the show. I'm Corbin. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Jason, our permanent guest, DJ, and our guest for this week, April King.
Hello.
April, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. For those of you who follow her on Twitter, there is a lot of content on Twitter. You're one of the most prolific Twitter users I've seen, and it's always great content. The polls are something that always pop up in my timeline, and I make sure to vote on. So welcome to the show.
There's multiple accounts you can choose from too.
There are so many accounts. Yeah, it's really nice when somebody calls it content. It's a rare treat for me.
Well, it's fun. So go ahead and tell us just briefly, about yourself, what you do, who you are, why people should follow you on the internet, and where they can do so.
Yeah, so most people actually know me as Cube April instead of whatever my real name is. I guess April King. Yeah, April King. Know me as Cube April or Lewd April. If you're into that sort of thing.
And you should be. It's a great account to follow.
It's pretty fun, yeah. I post mostly Twitter. Can I say polls? Is polls even a word? I post shit polls mostly all day long. That's going to get bleeped out.
Yeah, we don't like the word polls on it. It sounds too phallic.
But I do a lot of other stuff. I play a lot of Cube. I do a lot of proselytizing of Scryfall. I work on a website called decklist.org where you can generate deck lists for paper tournaments, which won't happen again until 2027.
That'll be relevant at some point, yeah.
I just generally work on Magic-related projects. I help out a lot of Wizards employees with random stuff too, so...
Well, yeah, your Twitter bio says, and I will quote here, Chief Hamster Wheel Operator at Scryfall.
It's true. The running gag is that all I do is I just run on my wheel all day and, power the server. Well, it's not all day. It's really, they give me an hour break every day. It's really nice.
Well, that's generous of them, especially in these trying times.
It is. I am considering on going on strike, though, because I feel like the hamster cages are a little too close, so they need to be at least 6 feet apart.
TCG player got a good union rep if you want me to put a good word for you.
Are hamsters allowed to unionize? I don't even know.
I have to check the laws on that one, I think. But anyways, we're thrilled to have you on the show. So everybody at home, we are now into week 3 of quarantine for us. So I know everybody is dying to talk about Magic and play Magic, but the truth is we don't have a ton of Magic content to talk about. There's no tournaments happening.
But you're used to that if you've listened to this podcast, which is closing in on 400 episodes. You're aware that we don't have much Magic content.
But that's also used to Corbin trying to force Magic content into the podcast even when there are tournaments, and Jason and I don't want to talk about them because they're mostly irrelevant to the world at this point, even when they exist. So they're used to me and Jason having a good old conversation, then Corbin, but wait, there's standard results, guys.
Some of us like standard, man. That's all I'll say. But we wanted to do instead this week sort of a deep dive episode with April about Scryfall and how you got involved in it and how it sort of has become the de facto search engine online. I mean, Gather exists, and most people will choose to use Scryfall instead, which I think is a pretty cool thing for the website.
I'll try to be productive, but I really didn't like how it turned into like Home Alone at the end, where they were in the cabin and they were setting the traps with the shotgun shells and whatever.
I loved that part.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that was so cool. That was so different for a James Bond movie.
That's the last one, I swear. I can't sing like Adele, so I'm not gonna sing the Scryfall theme song.
I forgot about that song, actually.
Wait, what?
Adele did they always have somebody do the Bond song, and it's always somebody popular. I think Billie Eilish is doing the next one. They had Adele do that one.
Huh. Yeah. Adele's great.
But they also let Paul McCartney do one, so it's...
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Which one was this?
Live and Let Die. There's a line in it in this ever-changing world in which we live in, and everyone's like, ugh. That's a really bad line. And the song's really bad. Just listen to the Live and Let Die theme song. It's terrible. I'm surprised nobody else has strong opinions. I thought we were going to fight about that.
Well, we've never actually talked about... I have to imagine that DJ has not seen a bunch of old Bond movies.
I have seen Casino Royale.
Which one? The one with Woody Allen or the one with Daniel Craig?
The one that came out in like 2006 or so.
DJ thinks that the old Bond movies mean the ones with Pierce Brosnan. DJ thinks Goldeneye is the old Bond movie.
The only one I really remember is the one with Halle Berry. I remember that being very...
Die Another Day.
That was... Yeah, sure,
with
whatever.
The invisible car in the ice hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, but was that the Ice Hotel?
Wasn't it? No,
maybe. Yeah, I think you might be right. I like the Ice Hotel one. That was a fun one.
I don't remember any of those details. That's not at all what I remember. It was very formative in my younger years. I will say that.
And then you saw Monsters Ball, and you're like, oh, they don't look great. Swordfish lied to me.
I loved. Now, Swordfish. That movie was. That was like, you're cool if your parents let you watch Swordfish when you were a kid.
It wasn't even the Halle Berry thing. It was the that chick blowing Hugh Jackman while he's trying to hack.
That was definitely the part that was considered inappropriate.
He's like, I can't pretend I'm good at acting and type and act like you're doing this at the same time.
Not a Hugh Jackman fan, I guess. Okay.
I mean, he's fine, right?
X-Men hater.
Logan made me cry, so now I'm mad at him.
That makes more sense. The truth comes out. It's always
if you didn't cry at Logan, go screw yourself, man. It's like Rudy for nerds.
Rudy for nerds, huh? What? Okay.
What?
I think the nerds identified with Rudy. I think that was kind of the point of the movie.
Rudy wasn't a nerd. He was a jock.
But the point of the movie is that he's not a jock.
Yeah, but he wanted to be a jock. No nerd wants to be a jock. Nobody's like reading X-Men comic books because they really want to be on the football team. Right?
I guess as a jock, I was told that everyone wanted to be like us. Are you telling me that was a lie?
That's just a thing they tell you in high school so you'll like play through concussions.
I did get a couple of those.
We gotta win state.
I didn't even play football. And
if you do really well, you get to play for no money for 4 years. Wouldn't you like to play for no money for 4 years as they put your face on the cover of NCAA football from EA Sports, and then you don't get any money of that either? Don't you want to do that?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, man, on the one hand, yeah, it's kind of messed up that college athletes don't get paid. I understand why they're upset about that. But on the other hand, those NCAA football games by EA Sports were my favorite video games as a kid, and they had to stop making them when they got sued.
On the one hand, I don't like the exploitation of people, but on the other hand, I do like
the
really
exploitation. Fun. Yeah, it makes me happy.
I was going to say, we came full circle back to Tiger King.
Yeah, we sure did. Anyway, so, all right, before we dig into Scryfall, though, we are going to do one of our regular segments here, Breaking Bulk. So for those who don't know, if we have anybody new listening, we're all going to name a card that we receive in bulk collections a lot, or that
we're not going to name it.
It's just commonly perceived as bulk, when in actuality it's not. So we're going to go ahead and jump
Corbin,
into the game
explain it
here.
wrong. We're not going to name it. It's a guessing game.
Well, yes, we're going to make each other guess it.
This is the 370th time you've explained the rules of Breaking Bulk, and like he's...
I can't even imagine the last time I actually explained what was happening before we all just went, Breaking Bulk, and then DJ did it wrong, and we yelled at him for doing it wrong.
That's because you weren't on the podcast for the past 600
Look,
episodes.
honestly, DJ, we probably shouldn't even blame you for doing it wrong all the time. We've never explained how to do it right.
How do I do it wrong?
You're like, I can't tell you what color it is, because you'll guess it, because it's a rules insert.
Yep. It's a mythic rare rules insert. How could you guys not get that? I guess you don't even know about magic.
It's the card with the arena code printed on it.
Corbin, you're saying these things, but they're actually true, so I can't...
All right.
Breaking Bulk time. Breaking Bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking Bulk. The end.
Anyways, who wants to go 1st
I'll
this
go
week?
first this week because I have one that is related directly to Tiger King.
Okay.
Sure thing, man.
You guys excited now? All right. This is...
Is your breaking bulk the ingredients for meth?
If you can get methylamine in bulk...
You can find them around your house and they're worth something if you live in the red state.
If you can get methylamine in bulk, I recommend it.
I got it in bulk once. It counts.
All right. This is a green Ravnica uncommon.
Ravnica 1.
Perilous Forays.
Shut up, DJ. Let somebody else guess.
I never do this game right.
Let somebody else guess. Yeah, Perilous Forays is more than $1.
Sorry, I just know you pick the same 10 cards every 10 weeks.
Is it on the sheet right now?
I don't know.
Then I haven't picked it in 2020, have I? So suck it. Perilous Forays is a sack outlet. It's used with Atla Palani, and I think people are going to build Atla Palani in EDH because Morrow spoiled that there's an egg coming. And we've seen...
An egg in a core.
Yeah.
Wow, what earth-shattering news. In the time of coronavirus, I guess that counts as big magic news.
Eggs are useful.
There's going to be an egg, everybody.
Atla Palani's an egg deck, dude. I didn't just...
Atla Palani is cool.
It's not a thematic thing. It's a mechanic thing, man.
So this is an egg in a Coria, then?
Yeah.
I missed the part.
I'm sorry, yes. There's an egg in a core.
For those who are not completely aware of the news or whatever you want to call it, Mark Rosewater released a Ikoria teaser last week. He said that previews don't start until April 2nd, but I've got some spicy little information. He's got a big list of just obscure-ish facts just piled on, just like weird things that are in the set. Like there's 12 different kinds of counters. There's a card that has the text total power 10 or less. There's Magic 7th Egg. There's a Shark Beast. There's a Brushwag. There's a Demon Kraken.
13 different kinds of counters.
If you count loyalty counters, yes. And this is also where I got my pick of the week last week for power and toughness granting aura. So Academy researchers and Arcanum wings. These are just little
We've been
tidbits of
making fun of you about that Arcanum wings buy for like a year. If you end up looking like a genius, we are going to be upset.
I can't wait. I'm nothing if not petty. And
I agree with that.
Sometimes these little hints are useless. Like the first time we were in Theros, Mark Rosewater did a similar list where he's like, "We're reprinting a card from Future Sight," and it ended up being like a 3/3 vanilla.
Nessian Courser.
So
Nessian Courser, baby.
Do you think?
Well, anyways,
do you think it's actually going to make Doom Foretold playable then?
I love that card.
Oh, because it has 12 different kinds of counters.
Yeah. Well, no, because you'll have more eggs to sacrifice
the
Doom
eggs
Foretold.
to sack to the Doom Foretold. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I think Doom Foretold is just too slow, right? It's not that Doom Foretold isn't quote unquote playable. It's just that when your opponents are going to attack you with like 11 power or hasty on turn 5, your turn 4, grind you out card just doesn't get there.
Yeah.
Standard
I miss Standard.
The power level from Standard.
Doom Foretold is better in Pioneer, where it's in an all art or enchantment deck. That's very good.
Yeah, it is.
It's crackling Doom Foretold.
Perilous Forays is a $1 uncommon for Ravnica, so that's a good break.
And I really hope we don't get blown out when the egg is like green black and it can't go in Atla Palani. Because it's the egg that hatches the Godzilla card we all
saw. If it's green-black, it will definitely have Flying and Vigilance
It's going to be the Godzilla card we all saw, and then we're like, that's obviously fake. Godzilla's not even legendary, and then that's going to be real. We're like such dummies. All right.
Oh, I completely misread Doom Foretold. I thought it was... When you said Doom Foretold, for some reason my mind went to Imminent Doom, which is like the Hour Devastation bulk rare.
Oh, no. It's the Smokestack. I'm talking about Smokestack here.
This is why we say you're bad at this, DJ.
Got him.
Sure.
Got him.
All right,
show us how bad you are, DJ, with your own pick.
I have a dual deck anthology green common.
When was the first time it was printed, you jackass?
This is so stupid. What are you doing, man? You're bad at this game.
It was originally printed in Mercadian Masks, if that helps any.
Is it Invigorate?
No.
That was a good guess.
Is it Stamina Burst?
No.
I don't know what that card is.
Is
So
it?
no.
Mercadian Masks?
Yep.
Is it
The dual decks version is $1.33 market price right now.
Okay.
Just tell me which dual deck. It's green.
Oh, it's green.
I mean,
sorry.
The dual deck anthology only had one green deck, right?
The dual deck one is $1. You said.
Yes.
Is it Vine?
Like,
Is it
there's
Vine
only
Trellis?
I don't know what was in.
It is. April got
Wow,
it.
nice.
Vine
Nailed
Trellis.
it.
Wow. Showing up Jason. I didn't play then, so I
I
always
knew
had a built-in
too many
excuse, but
cards. That was the problem.
Jason has no excuse.
I'm too smart for this. Big brain.
Vine Trellis, huh?
2-mana 0/4 Defender. It is a plant wall for all that plant tribal synergy that Vine Lasher Kudzdu does. And taps to add green. It's just a beefy Llanowar elf that
can attack
goes
for
with your,
4 Arcades.
Works very well with Overgrown Battlement, I imagine.
Yeah, it works well with Axebane Guardian, Overgrown Battlements, just all the green defender and mana.
So people are playing this over like Sylvan Caryatid?
They're playing all of it.
Well,
you have 100
I
cards
think
in
one of the
EDH.
biggest things about Vine Trellis is it's a very big indicator of just like cards that people buy when they can't afford the better versions of the cards for 60-card casual. So like people
Or
can
even
look
Commander,
at Sylvan
in theory.
Caryatid or Birds of Paradise all they want, but a lot of time people just want like the card where you can spend half as much and get like a full playset instead of one card.
I just realized that Sylvan Caryatid is $8. Why is it $8?
Sylvan Caryatid is $8 because of
It's
Pioneer.
$8. That's absurd.
But there are more
Yeah.
copies of Sylvan Caryatid than there are of Vine Trellis, just because like nobody bought Mercadian Masks.
It looks like Vine Trellis. Interesting. It spiked at the beginning of 2019. Not quite sure.
Arcades.
And by spiked, I mean it went from
Arcades.
what?
It took a while for Arcades to get there. Arcades was printed in like summer of 2018,
right? Yeah,
but
because Arcades
like,
was my first stop, and it took a long. It looks like it did move a little bit then, and then had the big jump later. So.
Well, there's also the fact that I think like the dual deck anthology copies just like took a little while to dry up, whereas there's other copies that are being bought out, and the dual deck anthology specifically has a much lower supply, but it's the only one with the newer post M15 border, so when it jumps harder.
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. All right.
Sure.
I've got one for you guys here. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Odyssey, red uncommon.
Is Need for Speed
It's
rare
rare.
or common? Okay.
It is not Need for Speed.
Is it?
It's a creature.
Oh, is it that Minotaur that makes you discard at random when it comes into play?
Nope.
No, Obstinate Familiars are rare.
Odyssey was a tribal set. Is that true? I didn't play during Odyssey. Was Odyssey a tribal set?
No.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it is a tribal card.
Odyssey, the Mirari expansion symbol.
I don't know what that means. It's the Odyssey.
It's the Mirari. The Mirari is the symbol. Do not the card the Mirari. You've seen Mirari, the card, right?
Mirari
I've
Cat
seen
Warrior?
Mirari's. No. You know, I don't look at the art on
Uncommon red
cards, so I have to go look at the
And
art
it's not
on
the
Mirari
Minotaur.
right now.
How many?
No.
Jeez. Oh, boy.
Tribal.
Yeah. I guess it is the Mirari.
Yes,
It is the Mirari, yes.
I've had the card Mirari in my hand, and I've never actually looked.
It's
at
the little
art.
crystal ball looking thing on the pedestal.
I see that.
It's
now.
one of the most powerful artifacts in the entire multiverse.
I just didn't play then. It's just like none of that has any like it.
Well, I
Just
did.
never penetrated my
Corbin's
brain
a
to know what.
zoomer.
I
Mirari-
did play it
Corbin's
this
a
time, and I
zoomer.
don't know what this card is.
Okay.
I'll probably
And-
know it when you say it, but I cannot.
Yeah, because he'll have said it.
It spiked hard originally with Eldritch Moon / Kaladesh.
Eldritch Moon / Kaladesh.
Uh-huh.
Is it
Dwarfs?
artifact?
Dwarfs are a pretty good guess.
We're no dwarves.
Is it a werewolf? Vampire?
Wow, guys. All right.
Wait. Can I use Scryfall? Am I allowed to use Scryfall?
Yes.
You absolutely
Is it
can use
Dwarven Recruiter
Scryfall.
then?
It is Dwarven
Yeah,
Recruiter.
right then.
That's not a tribal thing. That's like the only dwarf in Meriden.
When Dwarven Recruiter comes into play, search your library for any number of dwarf cards and reveal them, put them on top of your library in any order. That's
April,
not a tribal card. The card.
How many dwarves were in Mirrodin using Scryfall?
Mirrodin or Odyssey?
I don't know where you got Mirrodin.
I got it from Mirari. In Odyssey, how many dwarf cards were there in that set?
It's a. I asked if it was a tribal. Thank you. I asked if it was a tribal set.
Wow.
Yeah, there were 9. Yeah.
9 dwarves. That's
9
2
dwarves.
more than you'd expect.
Yes, Jason, it is. Anyways, Dwarven Recruiter spiked at Kaladesh at $3. It has since settled to $1, but it is a solid $1 for an uncommon. So, I mean, it's a generally good practice to grab anything that says Recruiter on it. But, yeah, it's a pretty decent uncommon you might find in your Odyssey.
Hey, do you want to run us through how you used Scryfall to figure out how many dwarves? Just plug the. Just why not? Because it's a very useful resource. Corbin would just type it in the card name box. He would just type in dwarves in the set, and then it wouldn't come up.
No, Corbin would type Odyssey into Yahoo and then search Google through Yahoo and then use Yahoo Mail to check his Gmail, which he then open and then search Google.
If I were you, I would try to detract from the fact you failed at guessing my pick as well.
It was a good pick.
Don't worry.
I'm not going to detract from it. I'll give credit where it's due. It was a good one.
Right. You can recruit this dwarf. That's all I get.
I went to yahoo.com when you said that, and it's giving me the option to make Yahoo my homepage. Ooh. What do you think?
It's generous of them.
Well, it's currently America Online, so you probably should update it.
Okay, good point.
I heard the noise when you're like, I'm about ready to record. Then I heard.
So that's how I would do this. I would obviously use Yahoo and Ask Jeeves and so on. But how would you find that information on Scryfall?
So first of all, one of the things that everybody needs to learn how to. So you could just go to the advanced page and you could just go down to the set and choose Odyssey, and then you can go for the type field. You can just type dwarf. But I think everybody who does Magic for a living, or even, does Magic as a serious hobby, should go to the syntax page. It's there's a little question mark box at the top, and it teaches you how to use Scryfall.
Look at all these dwarves.
So the set that I did, all I did was I type in set : ODY, so set's Odyssey, and then space type : dwarf.
I do it wrong.
So set : ODY space type : dwarf.
Oh, it even tells you some of the short code. There's the syntax page has a lot of information.
Yeah,
that's really neat. Yeah,
and we also do a lot of if you do a lot of cards, when you look at them on Scryfall, it will give you related searches or useful searches that you can do. And those will show you the syntax as well to help teach you the syntax.
So if you're just waking up from a coma from the past 18 months and you're just very confused as to how certain cards are made standard legal, why certain cards are in wacky packs, why certain cards are not legal in standard or are legal in standard, or what a buy a box promo
or
is,
why we have to be 6 feet away from each other, why you shouldn't touch your face.
Yeah, but I mean, there's modifiers here for cards that are only in the what do you call them, the collector boosters, only in the War of the Spark booster boxes, only in the pre-release date stamped. You can differentiate a lot of the weird, wacky, garbage promo crap that they print nowadays. Because every card has 18 versions nowadays, and it's hard to understand. This one has a little Planeswalker symbol. This one has a little date stamp on it. This one's extended art. This makes it very easy to parse out that with the limited amount of required pre-knowledge.
Yeah, that's
cards that mention Mishra in their flavor text too.
It's been a minute since I've done a true deck build where I haven't just built a commander deck off of EDH Rec by getting ideas from there, or sort of just tinkered with a Pioneer of Modern list I already was sort of familiar with. But Scryfall, I remember using Gatherer back in the day to do that, and it was a bit of a disaster sometimes. So to put it mildly.
Corbin, the example given for card types is T: Merfolk, T: Legend.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, as Merfolk is clearly the type of card that most people will be looking for. I mean, people like the best Magic cards, so it makes sense that they would look for legendary Merfolk.
Yeah. And most of these keywords like will take a shorter and a longer name. So like you can use T: Merfolk, or you can use type: Merfolk. So when people ask me questions on Twitter or whatever, I'll usually use the long one because people can look at it and they'll instantly know what it means. So
all right. So April, do you have a Breaking Bulk you want to jump into this game with?
I actually have two of them. And I think based on my Twitter following, I think I'm personally responsible for both of these. Because one is because of Twitter and one is because I did it to myself because I bought too many copies.
That's the dream. If you're going to buy all the copies,
like a common,
gotta have all the
common,
copies, right?
Brutal. All right. Yeah, one is a common. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start with the first one. It's from a set. There's only 2 cards that are really worth anything in the set. One of which, is the one I'm not asking about, is a blue enchantment.
So prophecy.
yeah, exactly. We're talking about prophecy. Good work. All right.
Okay.
All right. So we're talking a blue enchantment. And
that would be Rhystic Study, yeah.
Nope. Nope. Not Rhystic Study. The other card.
Is Rhystic Study uncommon?
Rhystic Study is common.
Exactly.
Oh, shoot.
That's really embarrassing.
Insane. Okay.
Jesus,
so
Corbin.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Not embarrassing at all, man. I wasn't alive in Prophecy.
Revised power, guys!
You weren't alive. You weren't alive. I drove myself to this pre-release, but you weren't alive.
All right. So it's the only other card in Prophecy that's worth any money. It's also a blue enchantment.
Okay.
It is a very Cube April card. Whenever a player puts a creature into play, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, they have to return a land to their hand. So it's a
Overburden.
Deluge? Overburden is rare, dude. It's the right set, at least, I guess.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's rare. Yeah,
it's Overburden.
Overburden.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a card.
I played that in my Olero deck all the time. I love that card.
Yeah, it was worth $1, or not even $1. It was worth like 50 cents for years, like nothing for years and years and years. And then I just discovered it one day for my Enchantress deck, and I just been like, every time there's a chance to talk about it on Twitter, I'm like, I love Overburden, and now it's worth like $15. So I apologize to people who wanted to buy it.
You're right. This card I was certainly not aware of this card back in like 2012 through 2015, but this card was under $1 then.
Yeah, it was worth absolutely nothing.
I made a lot of money, so thank you.
Overburden is that card's sweet.
Don't apologize unless you actually sold them all.
No, I only bought like a few of them for myself. So I never sell cards. I'm too lazy.
That's our problem, honestly.
All right, so the other one is a card from. This is gonna be easy because you only have 5 choices. This is a card from M11, and it is a basic. I guess that technically means there's 20 choices.
Is it the John Avon M11 Plains?
It is the John Avon M11 Plains. That's right. So this one, I also did this too.
TJ, you're so bad at this.
Hey, man, you and I killed it today. It's Jason who's bad at this today.
I know too many cards.
It's the one with the pretty flowers in the field, and there's like a single tree.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is the basic I have for my cube. And this picture has been used a lot. But
yes, it has. It's
in foil. It's only ever been used, I believe, on this printing. This is the only printing of it that you can get in foil. And so I made the dumb mistake. I don't make this mistake anymore when I buy cubes. But when I was first building my first cube, I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna get a few here. I'll pick up a few there. And I drove the price from like 50 cents to $5 because I was an idiot. If I just bought them all at once, I could have gotten them all for 50 cents.
That's true.
But now they're like $5 or $6 a piece, and it's all my fault. So.
You done played yourself.
I wasted so much money because I was an idiot.
I did something similar with the Ravnica MPS Japanese foil lands.
Yes, those are beautiful. Actually, I think this is an MPS as well. This printing, I think, is also an MPS land.
Yeah, I think so.
But
I have like my cube set is like the Ravnica MPS ones, and I bought them a whittle at a time, and eventually I was like, what? Man, this one's gone up like a lot over the past 2 years. I wonder what... I just bought out Haruruya every time they had them in stock.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep.
I was unaware of that planes, actually. That's pretty neat.
It's a beautiful picture. It's really
very
nice.
That's great. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So thanks. I mean, that was you jumped in. I'll tell you, picking lands for Breaking Bulk, that's some next level strats right there.
We've
right?
had
Not just any land.
that's some big ones already.
That's fully. Yeah, that is fully in bounds. That is great.
We have like those Lorwyn Islands or whatever that have the ferries on them, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, those should be $9." Yeah, sometimes it gets there, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's I think an Amonkhet one that's weird, or no, not Amonkhet. It would have been Kaladesh, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people know Lightning Plains, which is Odyssey number 333, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is the one that has a zebra on it.
No,
I think.
Zebra Plains has a zebra. That's from Mirage. Lightning Plains has lightning. That's why it's called Lightning Plains.
That makes sense. Yes.
There's a reason why it's not called the Zebra Plains. The other one is.
The Zebra Plains is called the Zebra Plains.
Yeah.
Where's our lightning zebra plains, Morrow? Ikoria has like a nightmare frog wizard, but no lightning zebra.
I like this lightning plains. I won't lie. I also didn't know this card existed.
Yes,
Lightning Plains.
Oh, Lightning Plains is
alive
super
when
famous.
Odyssey came out. We get it.
I understand, man. You don't have to rub it in.
You're
Not
like
all boomers.
3 months younger than me, but okay, man.
5 years, I think.
It is. I Jason's quoting Discord there. It is more than 3 months by a lot.
9 months, whatever, man.
Yeah, sure.
Corbin's the median because I'm 25. I'm 25. Corbin's 30, and then Jason's 700.
I'm 30. I agree. I'm definitely 30.
I wouldn't say you were 30 because you look like for 30. You should say you're 40 so people are like, yeah, you don't look bad. You look okay for 40. I would go with that.
Good advice. All right, so let's move back to Magic a little bit. Let's talk about Scryfall, though. April, you've been involved with Scryfall for a long time, and the site does some awesome things. I mean, what is it that makes Scryfall stand out, even in years after it sort of first rose to prominence? I mean, what keeps Scryfall running so well?
Yeah, I like to think it's just because I think there's like two really great angles that Scryfall really hits for people. One is that it's the amount of weird and complex and strange queries that you can do in Scryfall. It's endless. Like there's so many different things you can do to drill down on a specific theme or whatever. And that's really important when you have something like 20,000 cards. And I do all, like when I'm building a deck, I'm like combining like 5 or 6 keywords and different ands or ors. And so for people who are really, who think of cards in that way, who think of like, I need to find a card that does this and this in this color and this, like Scryfall always gets there. Like it always has a way to do basically what you're trying to do. So I think that's really.
So I need a blue legend from between 2005 and 2009 that has CMC5 that also references a chroma in the flavor text.
Yep, like, you could easily do that with Scryfall. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So is Scryfall based on the world's most ridiculous Excel spreadsheet? Is it just like you take a card when a new card comes out and you just type everything imaginable about it into 35 different fields on Excel, and then later it searches all of it?
That's actually not too far off. It's not an Excel. Yeah. It's sitting on top of a PostgreSQL. For if you knew databases at all, it's sitting on top of a PostgreSQL database. But like every card, I can edit. Like I can go edit a card, and it is literally like 40 different fields. So when we are entering cards, like in spoiler season, we are typing them in manually. We're typing in every field manually. It's super tedious.
Wow. So how did the website get put up in the first place? Did somebody type in all the cards manually?
No. So the initial set of cards came. So Scryfall came about during like around Eldritch Moon. There's a guy named Corey Shuta. I don't even know how to say his last name. His name is Corey. I just call him Corey.
Sure.
He's the guy who founded. He's the owner of Scryfall, and he is perhaps the technically smartest guy I've ever met. He's a genius especially when it comes to databases. And that was a time, people have forgotten this, but like everybody used magiccards.info. I don't know if you remember magiccards.info.
Yeah.
And there was a long period of time where it just wasn't getting updates, or it would get updates like 6 or 8 months later. And people are like, this is horrible. This is the only usable way to search for cards because Gatherer is garbage, and now it's out of date. So what are we going to do? So basically, Corey kind of just built it as a night project.
Wow.
And the original set of data came from, I believe, a site called MTG JSON, which basically just scraped Gatherer and just output all of its data as...
That should be my Twitter handle.
Scraped Gatherer?
Yes, not MTG JSON.
MTG JSON.
It should be Scraped Gatherer. Good call, dude.
But yeah, so there existed a service that's got all of the data, all of the Oracle text, all of the fields of cards. It wasn't really searchable. It was just a big blob of data. And that works great when you're building a new thing because you're just going to use the data of existing stuff. But Scryfall is constantly updated with new cards, and those don't show up in Gatherer for much later than they show up in Scryfall.
Right.
So now it all gets entered manually.
I mean, that takes work, but you know what? That is how you get something awesome like that. I mean, and the ability to search for cards, especially when a set is new, and maybe you don't know what everything's called by heart, and going through Gatherer doesn't exist, and trying to navigate the Wizard's card gallery can be hard to find. That's really neat that these sites, the spoiler sites, get them up instantly. You all get them searchable instantly. It's just really impressive.
And you could even do things like, for people who play Standard, the 12 people who play Standard, one of the formats you can search for it by keyword is Future Standard. So if there are spoilers being revealed, you can look for every dwarf in Future Standard, which will reveal cards that are in a set that is not yet released, and it's not yet legal in Standard, but will be. So if you're trying to build new Standard decks, you can search that way.
I like how there is a search for legacy legal cards not available on MTGO.
Yep. And I think the other thing that really keeps Scryfall, I said there were two things. The other thing that keeps Scryfall, I think, so popular is that, there's the web interface, and when most people think of Scryfall, that's what they think of because that's what the general public uses. But we also have an API, which stands for Application Programming Interface or something like that, but is used by programs. So lots and lots of people have different websites that do different things with Magic cards, like EDHREC, for example. Yeah. That uses the Scryfall data. So it's calling Scryfall's backend, and because the backend can do everything that the search can do, gives it away for free for people to build things on top of. You end up with lots and lots and lots of tools that use the Scryfall data.
Hey, I'm not a tool. I just happen to like using Scryfall data on EDHREC.
EDHREC is the other website that has just a great searchable. So many things are logged. So much data is tracked.
Yeah, we actually work a lot with the EDHREC people at Scryfall. One of the nice ways you can sort cards is by their EDHREC. So you can look at, give me every red dwarf in Odyssey and sort it by how popular it is in EDHREC.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty cool. I was a late convert to some of these sites. I liked the method of looking through my boxes of Magic cards to build decks. Turns out that's not the most efficient.
EDHREC in 2014, which is
it turns out I'm a late.
I played in 4th
edition. You didn't use EDHREC in 2014. It was like a Reddit bot in 2015.
That's when I used it.
Okay,
then.
yeah, because I for the longest time it was literally just a bot that suggested things in the EDH subreddit, and then
that's pretty neat too. Actually.
Yeah, and then Don's like, "What if I just did a lot of work for no reason?" And then
that's the Scryfall story too.
That's how most great websites are made, isn't it?
Then now he's probably burnt out on it. I would imagine.
Well, that happens. Anyway, so what else is there about Scryfall that maybe people don't realize that they should know? Is there anything else that you'd want to recommend to people who are checking it out for the first time?
So we really try very hard to. when new mechanics come out, or even just old mechanics are returning, we try very hard to come up with queries that can sometimes work with that mechanic. So a really good example of that was with Theros, right? The new Theros set brought the return of devotion. And, well, how do you search for devotion cards? Like, I guess you could search for cards that are white, whatever.
Oh, wow. You like cards that work well with devotion.
Yeah, people want cards that are like, I want to build a white devotion deck.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what cards work with white devotion. So now with Scryfall, like when Theros came out, we added the devotion operator. So like you can do like devotion white, and it will give you every card that gives you at least 3 devotion to white.
That's cool.
So we try really hard to do that. Like when Unstable came out, there was the new Spike card, which was like, give me every card that's ever been banned and restricted in any format at any time. We have all the data on all the cards that are currently banned, but like cards that were banned and then unbanned, there's no way to search for that and gather or anything. So we put in a bunch of work to build the is spiky operator, where like you can see all the cards that are spiky that work with Spike. So that's like pretty neat. We do a lot of stuff to make things easy for Commander players. So when you talk about color is very, very complicated and very hard to search for. It's a huge mess.
Especially when you need color identity.
Yep. So Scryfall supports both color and color identity. That's something that people really get a lot of. So like, if you're like, oh, I need a land that has a color identity of Boros. So you can just search for ID Boros and type land. People use that a lot. One thing that's, if you're looking for like super weird and secret things that people don't really know about,
behind the scenes stories.
Tell us about the MIC 1035 of Scryfall.
One of the cool things you can do that I do that I think most people don't know is that, so like Scryfall has a date operator. So every single set, if you go to the sets page, has the date that it came out, and it's pretty accurate for the most part. Oddly enough, there are some dates that we just have no idea. We have no idea, I think, like, what was the actual release date of Collector's Edition or Unlimited? Like, we just really don't know. There's no press releases. So some of the older sets are a little approximate. So most people think, oh, well, I can search for date is greater than 1995 or whatever. But, like, you could also do, like, date is greater than DRK, which will give you cards that are newer than the set to the dark. So, like, you could do, like, oh, I want every card that's, date greater than 3rd edition, but date is less than Ice Age. So you can search that way.
I think it is safe to say that Scryfall has thought of searches I would have never considered possible. So that's awesome.
We also have like filtering options. So like another thing that people don't know a lot about is the in operator. So you can search for, so like if you were to search for set like LEB, right, limited edition beta, it will give you every card in beta. But what if you want cards that were just, you want to search for cards that were in beta, but you don't want just like beta cards. So like you want giant growth that were in, like, maybe not that, like you want green cards that came out post 2000 that were in beta. Well, that doesn't make sense because like beta came out in 93. But if you use the IN operator in, you can do like in LEB and then date greater than, I actually hope this works, date greater than 2000.
Okay.
And you'll see like cards that were in beta that have been reprinted since 2000.
Wow.
So it's like pretty cool.
That's something. All right. I have one final question on that topic though. All right. Suppose somebody out there, and trust me, I cannot imagine who they might be or what they might be searching for. But if they believe they have some search function in Magic that is somehow desperately needed but has never existed before, can they submit that to Scryfall and have it implemented? Is that how a lot of these obscure ones have come? Well, seemingly obscure ones have come about, or do you all use data of what people are trying to use the website for, or something like that? So what is the process for getting one of these crazy filters in place?
Yeah, actually, so we look at and read every piece of feedback that we get. So we have a Slack where we all hang out on. So we have bots that monitor Reddit for posts about Scryfall, and we've got anytime somebody talks about Scryfall on Twitter, it shows up in the channel. So we see everything people say about Scryfall. So we get a lot of feedback that way. Even just conversations that people are having about Scryfall but aren't directed to Scryfall, we get to see them.
Right.
We also have at the bottom of Scryfall, you can click contact us. And there's a little form where you can be like, I have a question, or I have a feature request, or I found a problem. And we usually we should read that. So a lot of things have showed up that way. And then I think a pretty good percentage of them are people just contacting me and being like, hey, April, can you do this? Which is
that's an effective method, yeah.
Which I think is amusing because I have contributed almost zero code to Scryfall, almost none at all. I'm just friends with the people who made it, and I talk a lot about it. I act as an intermediary.
Look, that's important. You were the brand ambassador, which is why you were doing a podcast Charm Offensive. Talk about the site, and anybody who codes is like, well, what do you know about SQL? And we're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So I act as the intermediate. I get a lot of requests from people who work at Wizards who are like, how do I do this thing? So I act as the intermediary there too. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you all ready to move on to Pick of the Week?
Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week. Time for the Pick of the Week.
So this one is fairly straightforward for anybody new. This is where we all just pick a card that we think is likely to go up over the next, maybe it's the next week. Maybe it's it's happening in very quick fashion, or maybe it's a card we think is going to rise slowly over the course of a year. This is where we go on record every week, put them into a spreadsheet for all of our patrons to have access to as soon as we cast before it releases. So before we jump into this, I do want to shout out our sponsor, Channel Fireball. I know it's a tough time for everybody, and we appreciate Channel Fireball sponsoring this podcast. And if you all have an opportunity to support stores, support your local game store, but also support your favorite online websites with content creators, because it is a tough time for everybody right now. So when we get to when we do Pick of the Week here, keep in mind you can pick up any of the cards we're talking about at channelfireball.com. I drink Bud Light Lime.
because you want to stay hydrated? And
sober? All right, here we go. All right, so launching into Pick of the Week. Who wants to go first? Is it Jason? Was that you raising your hand to say you'd like to go first?
Because as you know, there is a Dolphin Nightmare in this set, if you looked at Maro's teasers. Dolphin Nightmare being the name of the after hours from this podcast.
Oh, my gosh.
I have a card that... so there is an egg. We talked about this briefly. There's an egg in the set. And I think Summoner's Egg is the eggiest card in Atla Palani. And since every Magic card categorically is going to go down in price over the next 3 months, in between people saying Magic is a luxury item, we can't afford it, and people I have these Magic cards, please don't murder my family. I think in between those two periods, the cards are going to go down, but I think a card that has a chance to rebound is Summoner's Egg on the basis of future Atla Palani inclusion, which is predicated on there being an egg that doesn't have black or blue in its color identity in the Godzilla set. So I like Summoner's Egg. It's about $2.50 on Card Kingdom, $3 on TCG Player. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's on the move, because typically when TCG players more than Card Kingdom, that means the card's going up. So who knows? I think Summoner's Egg could be moving on the basis of Morrow's little tease, and I think if you're like me, you probably feel similarly, and $3 is a pretty low risk spec, so I like Summoner's Egg for those reasons.
Yep, it is colorless, so who knows? Maybe maybe we're going to get a 5-color egg legend, and it's going to replace Alta Polani. And then you could play Summoner's Egg in it. No, that seems reasonable. I'll jump in next. I've got a card that originally printed in Dragons of Tarkir. It rose from bulk status to being worth some money, and then it got reprinted, and has since then be slowly climbing again. Haven of Spirit Dragon is just the best dragon land you can imagine. It adds colorless or color of any mana to cast dragons, so then 2 mana sack it, return target dragon creature card or Ugin Planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. So the card's about $2. Yeah, that's right. The card is about $2. As DJ pointed out, it has forward compatibility. It was in Commander 2017 as well as Dragons of Tarkir. But yeah, it's just been one of those kind of slow gainers over the past year. And at $2 right now, look, as Jason said, these pick of the weeks we don't know what's going to happen. Magic cards could continue to tank as we're seeing them tank now. So, we're operating on the assumption that the economy recovers and paper magic recovers, and we're all actually able to play Commander 6 months from now. And if those things turn out to be true, then I like Haven of the Spirit Dragon.
Yep. I have a card also based on Mark Rosewater's teaser. This is a card that I bought a very large number of 2 years ago in 2018. It is called Thief of Blood. It is from Commander 2015, and it says, when it enters the battlefield, scoop up all the dice on the entire table and then throw them at the most annoying player.
One more time, I'm going to actually... Thief of Blood is a 6-mana 1/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, remove all counters from all permanents.
Suck it, Atraxa.
It enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter for each counter removed this way. So that's a 6-mana kill all planeswalker spell.
I've never even seen this card before. I didn't even know it existed.
It was in like Commander 2016 or something.
We've talked about this card on this podcast, Corbin.
Yeah, but Corbin doesn't pay attention when you talk. He's just like, waiting to talk. When's it going to be my turn to talk? I hope I can talk soon. Is he done talking? I got a rambling story for 8 minutes about living in Oklahoma. And that's why you probably didn't hear us talk about this card, because DJ and I have definitely discussed it.
Yeah,
either of those things could be plausible. We'll never know.
I bought over 100 of this bad boy when he was around 10-15 cents a piece. I wondered so many times why he didn't jump in price, and then he did. He went to like $3 when War of the Spark came out, because that set had 600,000 Planeswalkers in it.
Planeswalker set.
And then I was digging around for my entire room back here trying to find all 200 copies of Thief of Blood, and I couldn't find them until like 6 months ago, when I just found them all in a random box that was mislabeled, and so I still have them all, and there's 19 kinds of counters in Ikoria, and so maybe
you bought Thief of Blood. You bought Thief of...
if you count Planeswalker loyalty.
You bought all the Thief of Bloods. You can't even be accused of a pump and dump. Like, you just had 100 copies of Thief of Blood, the card spiked, and you just had 100 copies in a box not being sold. You couldn't find them.
That's called a pump and chump. When you can't sell them.
Yeah, man, that's a pump and you're a chump. Nice pick though. I mean, the card apparently is strong. We all looked at it, we're like,
there's going to be some sort of commander that comes in with like wiggly biggly counters, and then you'd slap Thief of Blood and they all go away, and then they take 18.
Didn't Morrow say that there's something that says remove 8 of a given counter or something?
4 shadow counters, yes.
Well, Thief of Blood's going to get 8 +8 on the basis of foreshadowing counters, so we did it.
Sure. There you go. All right, April, do you have a pick? You want to play this game with us?
Oh, golly. Sure.
We gotta bleep that.
The golly.
Yep.
So, mine's like has no relation to the Ikoria spoilers at all, because like I was thinking, well, maybe show and tell or sneak attack, because maybe they'll screw up and they'll print another dumb thing like Emrakul or Grizzlebrand.
That's true. It is a big creature set.
Yeah, some dumb creature that's actually better than either one of those two. I don't know exactly how, but maybe. But But no, I'm thinking like the only Magic that's gonna get played is like little Commander games at home, with families. And
Ideally.
Yeah, no friends.
My pick of the week is webcams.
So I don't feel like people are going to spend money on like big expensive Commander cards because they can't take it to their game shop and play. So I'm thinking like the Tangle lands are what I would pick for cards that they're only a couple bucks, so they can't really go down much. They're not going to get reprinted. People are going to be like, well, I want to build a cheap Commander deck. This is like the base level of good but not too expensive dual lands. So I think it hits that sweet spot.
Pioneer legal too.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but I have no idea.
There you go.
I suck at finance. Literally.
No, look, everyone sucks at finance right now. There's no cards to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and it's just a tough
Your guess
time,
is as good as ours
for the entire industry. Yeah. All right. Well, April, we want to thank you again for coming on. Where can people find you across the interwebs if they wanted to follow more of your content?
Yeah, so most people start at twitter.com/cubeapril, cube like the platonic solid, April, cube April. And then once they have enough fun, they usually move on to Loot April, where I post not safe for work polls.
Okay, well, they got a progression if you're interested.
It's funny, like my work Twitter account points to Cube April, and Cube April points to Loot April, but you can't go the other direction. You can't start up a Loot and find your way to my work account.
That's a good decision, right? That's some next level interneting right there.
Anyways, thank you for having me on the show. This is really fun.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much. And everybody, if you liked listening to April on the show, we might have recorded some after hours with April that you might want to check
After
out.
hours are available if you go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and give us $20 a month, which is as little as $4 or $5 an episode.
Yeah, it was great. I definitely came on because the show was great and not at all because I was bribed.
Don't give away our trade secrets.
We don't have money to bribe anybody. Y'all set there, Corbin?
Everybody.
We're ready to get started?
Yep, we're ready to go, man. We're ready to go whenever you are, Jason.
Good.
It never gets old, buddy. It's never once gotten old.
Unlike Jason, who has gotten old because he's a boomer.
Boomer. All right.